is the fight for greatness.
After a night out with your friends, there's always options for getting home safely. You could call your BFF, your mom or dad, whoever you can count on for a safe ride home. You could call your favorite cab company or 1-888 taxi guy. Or you could use the Arrive Alive smartphone app to help you choose your ride. Be it a friend, transit, or taxi, getting home safely is app easy. Now available for iOS and Android devices. Visit arrivealive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive. Drive sober.
I still remember the games. The laughter, the footsteps through the hallway. I'll never forget the challenges.
Every day I come back from work, it's always like this. We're yelling in front of the kids.
I'll never forget the help we needed. How far we've come.
You're watching Rogers TV.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jason Piercey, and this is Out of the Fog. We have a musical show for you this evening. We have two musical guests, both from here in Newfoundland and Labrador, one of which currently doesn't reside here, but she's back in town, and she's got a new album, and she's got a music video, and you're going to get to see that and another one and a whole bunch of cool stuff right after this break.
Your opinion matters, and we want to hear from you. Get in touch with us using our viewer feedback line, your direct connection to shaping the shows you love. It's easy. Just grab your phone, scan the QR code on your screen, and take our quick survey. Share your thoughts, and let's make your viewing experience even better.
Welcome back, friends. Let's go straight to some music by the one and only Joy Robinson from Springdale, Newfoundland. This is track number 6 from her album, A Little at a Time. It's called Be.
Sitting alone, staring at walls, nothing but me and my thoughts. Nobody knows, nobody sees, even God is slow to speak. Covered in tears, covered in stains, nobody should know this pain. Turn off the light, shut out the noise, let me just be. Don't wanna hide, don't wanna lie, can't I just be? Torn by the night, scorned by the light, can't I just be? Never enough, always too much, can't I just be? Trying to breathe, wanting your touch, seeing your face. Am I alone in this place? If you could see, would you let go, or would you hold me close and turn off the light, shut out the noise, let me just be? Don't wanna hide, don't wanna lie, can't I just be? Torn by the night, scorned by the light, can't I just be? Never enough, always too much, can't I just be? People crying, hurting, deciding, lying, trying to find the truth and how to tell it. Some want to sell it, some say to hell with it. Some treasure it, measure it, count the cost for it and wonder if it's worth it. Is it worth it? Search it, count the cost. What's already lost, can it be reclaimed, regained, or should it remain lost? Cut it out, cut it loose, and let it be what it is. It lives, the truth that sets you free. Me, free to be me, whatever that may be. See me for who I am. No fear, clear, no walls hiding the interior like a mirror. Stare back and dare to see me for who I am. Let me go, let me live, let me see. The hurting, the deciding, the lying, the trying, the crying, and call it what it is. A life, a moment, a mess, a beauty. Sue me, what do I know? I'm just a mess, stressed and trying to find the answers. Will you walk with me? Will you hold my hand? Will you let me be and sit with me and sift through all the mess we see? Will you keep holding? Love, keep holding, keep holding. Turn off the light, shut out the noise, let me just be. Don't wanna hide, don't wanna lie, can't I just be? Torn by the night, scorned by the light, can't I just be? Never enough, always too much, can't I just be? Turn on, keep holding, keep holding. Don't wanna lie, keep holding, keep holding. Torn by the night, scorned by the light, keep holding. Never enough, always too much, can't I just keep holding?
Welcome back. How was that? Ladies and gentlemen, Joy Robinson, hi.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm so good. So
Good. I'm glad. Thank you for sharing your music with us, that particular tune, B. I got a whole bunch of things that I want to sort of talk about, but before we get into any of that, because we got your album here, and I want to talk about like this being very much the finalization of the manifestation of an entire life's worth of oh my goodness please, kind of, right?
Yes.
But let's talk about how you're from here, found yourself somewhere else, still got connections here, and while you're in town, you got a story worth telling, so that's why we're here.
Yeah.
So like, let's start there. Where are you from?
Okay. Well, I'm from Springdale originally. Grew up there for my childhood years, and then I ended up going to Pasadena, Corner Brook area. Kind of spent my teen years there, and that's kind of where I got into both music and theater. So I did a lot of theater classes through TNL, Theater Newfoundland and Labrador, and that really just got me started on this whole storytelling journey and wanting to not just tell other people's stories, but create my own work. And I started writing songs when I was around like 15, I think, 14 or 15. Started playing the guitar around then, so. Yeah, pretty much as soon as I could play the guitar, I immediately wanted to create. I pretty much just wanted to learn instruments so that I could bring my songs to life. And it's always been the childhood dream to do a full-length album of my own songs. And yeah, I'm 31 now, so it's taken me a while to get there, but you know, I got to live some life in there to influence the music.
I'm almost 41 and I haven't done it, so like you're making it sound like my time's up. Like I can't even. So when you open this, we laughed about this off camera, but this is the first time that I've opened a CD in a very, very long time. And when I did, there's a smell, and it's a good thing. It takes me back to opening a pack of hockey cards when I was like 11 and 12 years old, and like it's the same smell. Like I'm getting like Upper Deck 92, 93, looking for Felix Potvin in the, and it's like it takes me right back. So the album artwork is gorgeous, by the way.
Thank you.
We've got 11 tunes on here. And we were talking a little bit off camera about how somebody puts together an album. And I had said I only fairly recently got into vinyl because I came across a really cool vintage sort of setup. And other than the sound, one of my favorite parts about vinyl is that you have to listen to the album the way the artist wanted the album to be heard. You're not skipping tracks, you're not, right?
Yeah.
And that leads me to ask you, about this? Because there must be a story, because otherwise, why are the tracks in the order they're in?
Yeah, and that was definitely part of the whole childhood dream. Like, my specific dream was not just to make music, because, you know, everybody and their dog has a recording studio in their basement now. Like, everybody's making music and, you know, throwing it on Spotify, and we have very much of a shuffle culture. I just like the one track that I like, and I put it on my playlist, and that's all fun. I love exploring music that way, but my specific dream with this was to have an album with a specific journey. And yeah, because I loved that as a kid. I loved CDs, and I loved sitting down with my little stereo, putting it on, and going through the little lyric booklet, which I created one of those for this guy.
Because
and,
not everybody has them anymore.
No, they really don't. I mean, most people, if they have a CD player, it's just in their car. So, you know, it was something that was a bit of a risk, because it's like, oh yeah, I've had so many people, even my mom, I was like, do people even listen to CDs anymore? Not really, but
there is something cool about it, because you mentioned, because I was asking like where people could get it, because like you could download stuff, you could stream it, you can do all of that, yes. But there is something cool about having the physical copy.
Yeah, because then it does force you to listen through the whole thing, and I've actually had.
You should turn it on, push play, and listen
and just go on the journey.
Track 1, A Prayer, all the way to 11, which is Home, which is sort of, I mean, feels like an evolution in and of itself.
Yeah. And so I've had a lot of people actually, since they've heard the album, they have said, oh, it sounds kind of almost musical theater-y, in that like it's very story driven. And yeah, so it is sort of I suppose it's like a coming of age kind of concept album, when really it's a lot of lessons that I have learned. And you know, when you're in your 20s and even teens into the 20s, you're learning a lot about yourself and life, and this whole, you know, you're trying to prove yourself, you're trying to figure out how you exist in the world with the way that you have been created. So you're trying to discover that while figuring out your place in the world, which is, you know, kind of what the song Be touches on a little bit, is, you know, having all these feelings and then like, oh, can't I just be what I am? Can't I just exist?
How old is that song? When did you write that song?
I wrote that song, I think maybe when I was 23, 24, I think. So yeah, prime, like just out of college. I'm like, where's my place in the world?
Yeah, the quarter life crisis.
Yes.
All of that.
Like, I have no idea even what life is really yet. But
if you wrote Be today, would it be a little different? And how often before? Because the album was only published, like released a couple of weeks ago, I guess.
Yeah, it's brand new. Yeah.
So, did you? Because it's early to mid 20s Joy who wrote that song, right? Would early 30s Joy write a slightly different song? Like, did you think, I'm going to change these lyrics, or did that happen?
I did not, yeah. It was funny, when I wrote that song, that was one of the first songs that I wrote that, like, as soon as I finished it, I was like, this should go on an album. Like, I think this is the first song, which is partially why I made it into a music video and I released it as a single.
That's the single, sort of.
Yeah, because I was like, this is kind of the first thing that sparked the project, and I wasn't even fully sure what the whole of the project was gonna be at that point. So that was sort of like the spark that ignited it. So it's definitely a special tune, but yeah, I think.
Is that one of the oldest tunes here?
It is. I think it's the oldest song.
Yeah.
Like, out of the ones that I've written.
What's the newest one?
The newest one, I
Most
think
recent.
the last one that I wrote for it was A Little at a Time, which is the name of the
track.
album.
Yeah,
which is very much like more like I wrote that kind of at a peak kind of dark time in my life, so we kind of have stuff, and that's sort of the journey of the album. It's really, there's songs on there that even touch on my, like, growing up in Newfoundland. So there's a song called If I Could Take You, which is it kind of highlights all the different places that I related to as a child and what kind of shaped me into the person I am. So it really starts like all the way from childhood, Newfoundland, all the way to, you know, my biggest life lessons that I've learned at the peak of my 20s, which, you know, it's all
And now, and as somebody who's in his early 40s, now you get to go through your 30s and realize that you were wrong with those lessons. You get to learn new ones again.
So then I'll write a new album at 41, and it will be a whole new journey.
A bit more this time.
Yeah.
That's what we'll go with. Yeah. That's exactly it.
Oh, exactly.
Joy, thank you so much. We'll make sure people head over to your website, then have a look at this, and they go stream it, and they find it, because it's cool music. Thank you so much, Joy.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back after this.
Your opinion matters, and we want to hear from you. Get in touch with us using our viewer feedback line, your direct connection to shaping the shows you love. It's easy. Just grab your phone, scan the QR code on your screen, and take our quick survey. Share your thoughts, and let's make your viewing experience even better.
Welcome back to Out of the Fog. Okay, you know everything that you've heard about hip hop and rap and gangster rap and how it all comes from these deep, dark, sinister, villain-like. I can't even finish this because it's so ridiculous. Let me introduce you to the anti-hip hop. Joshua Roberts, Hippy Junior. What's up, man?
How's it going?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic today.
Good. So, introduce you as Joshua Roberts, of course, your name.
Yes.
Hippy Junior is, as a writer, you would say it's your pen name.
Yes.
Stage name.
My alter ego.
Your alter ego. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but are they two different people much at all? Because I'm sort of learning. Not really. One just has a mic.
Yeah, I would say Joshua Roberts is more the businessman. At the end of the day, takes care of my family. You know, do what I have to do to get everything done. Whereas Hippy Junior will take his time and go out of his way, you know, to really do the most he can for others. So the Hippy Junior aspect comes from my father, really, in my family. My dad is Junior. He's Vic Roberts. My dad's dad is Vic Roberts. So bit of a story there. Family called him Junior my whole life. And as I grew, I learned that I'm a lot like my dad. So I'm just the hippie variant. So I'm the Hippy Junior.
And the word hippie sort of means something different in generations of yours or even mine, and then younger again. Yeah. Because hip hop and a hippie, like, they're historically totally different. Like, one is Woodstock.
Yes.
And one, so it's like it's a whole different thing.
Yeah, I love to incorporate the hippie aspect because in my personal life, I'm very health conscious. I like to focus on mental health wellness, and I feel like a lot of the things that I kind of resonate with are more hippie, like in this modern day and age.
Cool, I like that, man. That's interesting. Like I said, sort of the anti-hip hop. Let's sort of zoom out a bit. I want to go back to the beginning and talk about how you ended up being a rap artist, and because you've sort of noticed along your own journey that there were obstacles that made it hard coming, because we've had a lot of successful artists, musicians come from here, but those same three chords with the same Irish folk music. And there's nothing wrong with it. I love the stuff too, but what you're doing is totally different. You sort of noticed those obstacles and assembled something to foster the community. Is that a fair way to say that?
Yeah, absolutely. So for me growing up, I definitely spent many days in Nan's house where everyone's got the guitar going, the feet are stomping, we're singing away to the Newfoundland folk tunes. And for me, I just felt something in myself that, you know, as much as I resonated with this and this is my home, I felt that I could offer a different approach to it. So I've learned through the basis of my family. They're very musically inclined, and I take after my aunt with the business tactics and approach and community efforts, and kind of put it all together and put Joshua into it, and it turned into hip hop.
Yeah, so you have influences in your music and in your style, because like in hip hop, people talk about different styles from different places and a different flow and a different cadence and a different sort of like where do you noticeably when you do your own thing, do you say to yourself like, oh, that sounds a little bit like this or like that or whatever? Just not that you're copying. It's just you can't help but be influenced if you spend a lot of time listening to the same people over and over again, right?
Yeah, I'll be really honest that when I started, I set my expectation very realistic, and I focused on an artist in the province. I figured if I'm going to be like anyone, I want to be like Mac 11.
Cool, man.
To me, the best hip hop artist in the province that I could name. Just based on the catalog, the quality, the experience this guy has. So in my journey, when I first came into the scene, 10 years in, and I first start releasing music, I reach out to Mac and I say, hey man, I love what you do. I'd love to be able to work with you. The guy's an amazing guy. He reached his hand out. That's where my journey really started to get in. So. Okay,
so I gotta say, like, to sit here and ask somebody like who their influence is in and how they put together their, and from your generation, you're not like, well, Kendrick or J. Cole or like Joyner and I'm like, no, he's like Mac 11, the guy from down the street. I'm like, this is cool. So this lines up some other stuff with me, for me in my head too, about an idea of who Joshua Roberts is. So you've been at this for a while.
Yeah.
And you've noticed that there's a whole community of people who are doing the same thing. And they've come across obstacles and not necessarily a lack of support, but not as much support as you would want them to have. And you've assembled an organization, sort of.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that for a bit?
Yeah. So our organization is People Music Community NL, and it originally started as Hip Hop Shop NL. And when I started this organization, I was considering the gap in the industry that I was noticing. So as an artist, I was constantly trying to book different venues and book in with different promoters and event hosts. And as the hip hop artist, I just wasn't getting the traction I was hoping for. So I kind of picked up the idea that, hey, this is, I can kind of see what they're doing. I can figure out the schematics of it. I'm a business guy at the end of the day, like I said. So I just kind of put two and two together, found a venue, found the artists, got a DJ, and hosted my first show. And it was fantastic. So
awesome, man.
I fell in love and realized we need this. From there, it developed into many different aspects of how to approach an artist, how to help an artist, and it's led to where I'm now hosting a grant seminar in a couple of weeks to hopefully introduce these artists to grants and different opportunities that our province offers.
So a grant seminar meaning, like, hey, I've been through this process, I've applied for these grants, our government is better at helping us than you probably know. Come to this seminar, let me teach you what's available to you and how to apply for it, because that's I don't want to say a shortcut, it's just a part of the process, but maybe it's easier to get a grant, because you said you just recently got one for a new project that you're working on.
Yeah.
It might be easier to get a grant for $7,500 than it is to just like go work the extra hours and eat only this and cut your phone bill and to save up to $7,500.
Yeah, it's definitely noteworthy to say that the different opportunities that are available now are able to help us succeed more than what we've ever done in the community. So just given the understanding that some of the quality, some of the, say, the videography, photography, the social media content is not where it should be for us as a community. And I feel like these grants are able to kind of put the funding behind these types of projects to increase the quality for these artists. And so when we do pitch our music to whoever we're pitching it to hope to be picked up on it, we can offer the best quality and the best approach. So
the project you're working on now, you mentioned one of the things that was important to you is to be able to take people who currently aren't not necessarily not in the industry, but aren't noted or accomplished or the ones that you would think of, and to bring them in and let them be a part of something.
Yeah, there's nothing better, honestly, the experience personally that at the end of the day, when the project is made and it's put out, then we've got a period of time where we're just kind of in the creation phase. So what better time to spend with these people than that, and if they're helping with the project and also spending time in the creation phase, everyone's just progressing nonstop. So it also develops the financial aspects of the industry, where if I go to this studio or that studio to record my music that's already fully established, we're kind of not supporting the hip hop industry as much. So I find the hip hop guys that are
very
recording.
grassroots.
Yeah, we're just investing into it so we can kind of build it as much as possible.
Man, that's awesome. We've got a video.
Awesome.
That we're going to play here. I want to thank you very, very much for coming out and doing this. I have learned more about, I don't know, you as a human being, man, and what you're doing, and I think it's super, super cool, and I'm really glad that you took the time. Let's introduce our audience to
awesome.
Joshua Roberts when he's on the mic. This is Hippy Junior.
Thank you.
Hippy made it.
Said I was in the basement. If we're not talking about no money, I'm not in that conversation. I've really been getting to that bread, I got no time to play with. Remember one too many things that I just wasn't okay with. So that's why if I'm put on the spot, I'll be the one to say it. Really out here just trying to live, not trying to be no one's favorite. Trying to make that kind of money where we celebrate it. The type of bread talking about that dough where we need a bakery. The type of money you're gonna have to kill me if you wanna take it. Only one that's like me that I know you can't replace me. Cause I attract the opportunity, I'll never chase it. I keep waking up at night from dreams of where I'll make it. Funny thing is to me, when I open my eyes there nothing changes. Facing problems in my life that I keep rearranging. Always said if I get my credit up, it'll be amazing. Now my credit is exactly where it needs to be. Shout out to all the people who choose to still believe in me. Cause I'm still trying to buy some land that look like scenery. If you're not trying to share some positive, then you can leave me be. Strength, love, and positive is what you'll see from me, son. Look forward to the days where we talk about how we won. Had a couple moments where I wish life had a rerun. Shit, I'd probably do it all the same again if redone. Really been feeling this, my type of music here, no ain't it? Remember recording back in mom's that said it was in the basement. If we're not talking about no money, I'm not in that conversation. I've really been getting to that bread, I got no time to play with. Remember one too many things that I just wasn't okay with. So that's why if I'm put on the spot, I'll be the one to say it. Really out here just trying to live, not trying to be no one's favorite. Trying to make that kind of money where we celebrate. Trying to celebrate my money like it's Christmas round a holiday. I'll fill up my whole bank account and then I'll give it all away. I don't have to be close to you to help, and that is all I'll say. Cause if you really need me, know that I am just a call away. I'ma wait a moment before I can celebrate. I'll take this time to find me a way that I can go elevate. Thinking about that money at 4 a.m. I'm still awake. I feel it deep inside my soul that I'm gonna find a better way. I put in work and then I get results. Some people hate on me instead of showing me love, they wanna insult. Take the blame, I know I'm great, I'm gonna be paid, it can be my fault. Nothing changes, still the same, but due to this pain I'm putting up walls. I'm not putting all this work in just to let it fall down. Never knew how it would go, look how it all turned out. Even if I feel my back's against the wall here now. Always putting in my best work, letting all fears out. Really been feeling this, my type of music here, no ain't it? Remember recording back in mom's that said it was in the basement. If we're not talking about no money, I'm not in that conversation. I've really been getting to that bread, I got no time to play with. Remember one too many things that I just wasn't okay with. So that's why if I'm put on the spot, I'll be the one to say it. Really out here just trying to live, not trying to be no one's favorite. Trying to make that kind of money where we celebrate it.
So, to sort of sum up this whole show, music can get a bad rap and it can get a good rap. And a lot of it comes from what our expectations are. And we think that music represents a certain culture or a certain production, and really it's just a way to tell stories. And when you have a voice and you can tell stories, you get to help people because you can tell stories that help. And that's what both of these people are doing, and I'm glad I was able to help. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
We want to hear from you. Provide feedback on this show or find out how you can get involved. Call, email us, or scan the QR code to take our quick survey.
This job brings people together.
City